Hollywood and the four corners of the world. You asked for it. Starring Rich Little. Here's the star of You Asked For It, Rich Little.
Thank you, and welcome to the only show on television that takes you around the world in 30 minutes just because you asked for it. Tonight, one of our viewers gets his wish to hand-feed deadly moray eels. A master roper performs tricks with his head in a bucket. From England, the royal treatment is served up with guns and karate and much more. First, if you're afraid of flying, you better not get in a plane with Art Scholl. This great stunt flyer shows us flips, rolls, and dives in an exclusive performance, one of the most dangerous airplane stunts known to pilots. Jack Smith takes us to the action at the Oshkosh, Wisconsin Experimental Aircraft Show. Robert Thurman of Jacksonville, Florida, you asked for it.
Rich, this is the great Art Scholl, and that's his sensational stunt plane, the Chipmunk 2.
This weekend-long convention, which started in 1953 with 40 airplanes and a few hundred people, now features more than 1,500 aircraft of every kind that you can think of. And it draws a crowd of more than 500,000 people to Oshkosh every year.
You don't have to be an airplane buff to enjoy these wonderful flying machines, like this Breezy. The show is a trip through the history of flight, from World War I to the much more powerful and technically complex planes of World War II. And you see some of the smallest planes you'll ever see.
This is the smallest twin-engine airplane in the world. Would you believe it only weighs 160 pounds, and it's powered by two 11-horsepower snowmobile engines? Fantastic design. This is the type of thing that you see here at EAA and the type of ingenuity that goes into the design of aircraft. This is this is very typical of the thing the experimental people bring to us. Note the efficient winglets and airfoil on the wingtips, the canard nose section, and a pusher propeller with the engine behind. This is probably the most fuel-efficient aircraft that we have today, and I think you're going to see a lot more of this in the future. This is a B-29 Super Fortress. Actually, this is the first aircraft that was fully pressurized, and it was very significant in ending World War II. The Eagles come on over into a formation barrel roll, up over the top. Charlie Hillard is in the lead of the Eagles with Tom Pobremsi and Gene Soucy on both wings. On up, again you can hear those propeller blades, all three of them hitting the speed of sound. That's their upward bomb burst. Charlie torque rolls right up the middle. He'll come right back down on his tail while he's rolling now, back into the smoke and right on back as his wingmen go in both directions. We can talk about it all day. Let's go up and do it.
Art is going to perform some of the most difficult aerial stunts in the book, especially for our You Asked For It cameras. He'll end this series of beautiful maneuvers with a dangerous outside loop, finishing by picking up a ribbon suspended from the ground while passing over the landing strip upside down. All right, here he goes. At the top, he turns over and down. And he did it. Let's see that again. A beautiful finish and a beautiful look at the past, present, and future of flight. And all because you asked for it.
Oh, this is Dean Martin. Yeah, that Art Scholl is a wonderful pilot. Yeah, he flies upside down, sideways, loop-de-loop. Big deal. Looks like me coming home from work. Well, coming up next, one of our viewers gets his wish to hand feed deadly moray eels on You Asked For It. Gee, sounds like fun.
And now back to Rich Little.
Say, does this look like the face of your dreams? Well, it was for one of our letter writers, Hank Graybell, a truck driver from Trenton, New Jersey. Actually wrote and requested to hand feed a moray eel. Well, we flew Hank all the way to Redwood City, California, to give him his first chance to fulfill his dream. The eels were hungry, but Hank, you asked for it.
Moray eels. They get up to 6 feet long and have 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth. They also have a reputation for fearsomeness matched only by sharks. Our letter writer, Hank Kriebel, is about to find out if he bit off more than he can chew and asking to swim with the morays.
Hey, Hank. Good to meet you.
Same here.
I'm Don Reed. Let's take a look over here.
Sure.
Yeah, you're really going to like this. This is going to be something to remember all your life.
Yep, I know it.
Yeah, this is really a trip. I love it myself. Every time I go in. Well, I'm glad you brought all your gear with you, Hank, and I think that we'll be able to take care of it. And you don't have. Let's go and check out the eel tank now.
Okay, good.
Okay, Hank, this is our dive shack. This is looks like Hawaii a little bit,
Yeah,
but we
looks
like
good.
it.
Looks nice.
Step in here. So, Hank, how did you get into diving?
I liked it since I was about 13 years old when Sea Hunt was on TV.
Mike Nelson, yeah, that's great. What possessed you to want to come swim with a moray eel?
I read it in a magazine, dive magazine, and looks like it. I just wanted to do it, you know? It's an exciting thing to do, I think.
I think you're really going to like it. I've been diving with them for about 10 years now, and I used to think that when they bit, it was bam and hang on and never let go. That's not true. I've been bitten 4 times, and each time it was a quick snap and let go.
Well, Don and Hank are ready to dive. Don's an old hand at this, but Hank must be nervous. Even under controlled conditions, a face-to-face confrontation with morays is dangerous. In this tank, there are more than eels to worry about. Other fish like tiger sharks warily watch the divers. There's the first eel they see. You can see why they are sometimes called sea snakes. The feeding is underway. Don is carrying a bag of squid, the eel's favorite food. Eels only eat a few times a week, so when it's feeding time, they're pretty hungry and eager. Don says moray eels really are gentle fish, not given to attacking without provocation. But one of those monsters could easily confuse an arm or a leg with a morsel of food. Uh-oh. It looked like Hank was about to be part of the main course. That eel came close to taking a bite out of his arm. But he stays calm and collected. Panic in a situation like this is deadly. Hank continues to act normal, and the eels leave him alone. A close, close call. Well, the bag of squid is about empty, and I think Hank will be happy to leave. Reading about eels is one thing, and actually touching 6 feet plus of pure muscle and teeth is something else. It's been the adventure of a lifetime for Hank, but all adventures must come to an end, and now he must surface. And we've seen it because you asked for it.
Godfrey Daniels, that moray eel is ugly. Reminds me of my first wife, Ethel. Ugliest woman I've ever known. She was so ugly, we had to sit her in the corner and feed her with a slingshot. God, she'd make a train take a dirt road. Strange sea creatures aren't strange to Jack Smith. He's seen the odd and unusual all over the world. So here is the odd and the unusual, but always lovable, Mr. Jack Smith.
Thanks, Rich. Loved your introduction. When we were kids, a lot of us tried to lasso a fence post, remember? And I, for one, never could quite master the trick. Well, in 1958, our cameras caught the ultimate in lassoing when rodeo artist Frank Dean performed a spectacular trick that revolved around putting his head in a bucket. Now, what does a bucket have to do with roping? Well, see for yourself.
Ever see a man rope a horse while standing on his head in a bucket? Well, there's the man who can do it. Mayor Frank Dean of New Almaden, California. Frank's wife, Bernice, has been his partner for over 20 years. She'll serve as the climax for this non-stop fancy roping routine. He swings a mighty big loop. Got her. What happened so quick, maybe you'd like to see that again in slow motion. And notice how he backhands the rope. Frank Dean has 2 claims to fame: roping with his head in a bucket, and the one coming up. He'll attempt to rope 5 horses at a dead gallop. Just give him time to get set. He'll toss the loop, swing the foot as well as the hands. Count them yourself. He got all 5. Frank's going to repeat that so we can see every move in slow motion. Only 3 horses this time, but still plenty good. But now, how about that head in the bucket stunt? Frank Dean's about to prove that it can actually be done. Way inside the bucket to a headstand. And the horse will go by him fast. By both front feet. Now, if you're still not convinced, watch again in slow motion. Just barely got her by the ankle, but what can you expect from a guy with his head in the bucket? You asked for it.
Jack, he was great.
He sure was, Rich. In fact, today in his 70s, Frank Dean is still going strong and is still one of the best trick ropers in the world.
Yes, with or without his bucket.
Here.
Coming up next from England, the royal treatment is served up with a gun and karate. We'll be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
This is Groucho Marx. Say the secret word and we'll take you around the world. Well, the secret word is you asked for it. Now, that's really 4 words, but I'm a comedian, not a mathematician. Anyway, challenge us to show you anything in the world. Just write to Yaffy. That's you asked for it. P.O. Why don't you put your teeth in backwards and bite yourself to death? You asked for it. P.O. Box 1980, Hollywood, California, 90028. You know, butlers make me nervous. When I see one, I always feel like my shoes are on the wrong foot or I'm eating peas with a knife. Where do butlers get that attitude? Well, at school, of course. And how to choose the right wine or set a table isn't all that comes with the course. Karate, kung fu, how to iron a newspaper, they're all part of the course for would-be gentlemen's gentlemen. Well, our Margaret Davies took a trip to London, England to learn the finer points of butling because Rebecca Wolfe of Tampa, Florida, you asked for it.
One of the first things a student learns at this prestigious new school for butling is how to iron the London Times. Among the upper class, it's considered quite gauche to read an unironed newspaper. Ivor Spencer started his school of butling when he discovered a shortage of bona fide butlers in both America and England. You see, there are only 98 butlers still working in the whole of Britain.
Good morning, Mr. Spencer. It's so good to see you.
Good morning.
Again.
Nice to see you again.
You have a pleasant journey?
A very nice journey indeed, yes.
Can I get you a
In this class, Ivor first tests and then teaches Keith Wheaton of Norwood, England, the proper way to greet a guest.
Now, Wheaton, you made a very big mistake. At the school, we've always taught you to make people very welcome when they arrive, but not to shake their hands. You grabbed my hand, and you made me welcome that way, which is wrong. You didn't take my hat and coat. I've still got it, okay? And also, you were very smart, except that your jacket is not done up.
Okay.
Remember that.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
As with greeting a guest, there is a right way and a wrong way to offer a guest food. Here, Leslie Bartlett, the school's chief instructor, explains to Wheaton what he has done wrong.
That's not right. Look, you do not shove it at the person. You present like that. Do it.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Wheaton.
I trust you had a pleasant night's sleep.
Yes, thank you.
Serving breakfast tea to the lady of the house can be a very delicate situation and requires a great deal of savoir-faire.
You behaved very well, except for one thing. You put the tray down the wrong way. Look, when you present a tray to a lady in bed, you do not embarrass her by looking at her. That is the way in which you present a tray. The only time you present your back to a lady is when she's sitting or lying in bed.
Stanley, put your shoulders back. That's it. Now put the glass in your head. Try and be as relaxed as possible.
The students, such as teachers, plumbers, and former business executives, gladly lay out £1,500, or about $3,000, for a full-time 4 to 6 month course in such arts as walking with proper deportment.
When you get proficient, Stanley, we actually put water in the glass.
Move your hands away from his arms. Form 2 fists. And you're bringing them up in the middle and separate, hard and fast.
Well, as you can see, Kung Fu is a necessary part of a butler's training. Since the rise of kidnapping among the very rich, butlers are often expected to assume the role of bodyguard as well as family protector.
This is an ordinary revolver.
Instruction in the use of firearms is also standard training at the Ivor Spencer Butling School. This .357 Magnum is a fake gun. Real guns are not allowed in England. But in the homes of wealthy Americans, where most of these butlers will someday work, guns are commonplace.
Don't hold it rigidly. If you do, your wrist will break as sure as you're a foot high.
I never thought that I'd be ironing newspaper in London, England. But I am, because Rebecca Wolfe of Tampa, Florida, You asked for it.
Oh, incidentally, they now are allowed to serve breakfast in bed from the front. That's because the butlers were complaining. They were getting a little behind in their work.
We'll be right back with more of Rich Little and You Asked For It right after this. And now back to Rich Little.
Well, that's all for today. See you next time on... Good night, everybody.
This is John Harlan speaking. You Asked For It is a Sandy Frank production.